Greetings. This is Paul the Poke from PaulthePoke.com, and welcome to This Week in Prophecy. We are June 30, 2024. This week we got Vladimir Putin went to North Korea, see his buddy Kim Jong-un. Iran has a lot going on. So did the Saudis came out. Mohammed bin Salman came out and made a statement. We've had a pretty significant quake off the coast of Peru. And we've got what is now a Category 3 hurricane in the Atlantic Basin. We're about 2 months ahead of schedule. So let's get at it. Scripture reference Matthew 5, verse 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. So for the record, I don't have a side in this mess between Russia and Ukraine. It's my opinion that this situation was started in part by weak leadership in the West. And when I say the West, I mean the United States and Western Europe. I'm not interested in this conflict escalating and spreading. These folks in the West seem hell-bent on World War III and doing everything they can to provoke Russia. And I'm not saying Russia or Putin's a bunch of choir boys over there. That's not the point. But nowhere in this scenario does it seem they keep pushing each other's buttons. So, and unfortunately, my concern is somebody presses a big button, and anybody who saw the debates last Thursday or this previous Thursday, 3 days ago, the idea of Joe Biden being in charge of the nuclear codes is very scary. Is what it is. I'm not going to spend any time talking about that. So we had this happen earlier in the week. This is from Bricks. Bricks News, they're continuing to use their page on Twitter or X more and more to get their point out. And this is from Bricks News. Russia says, quote, a deliberate terrorist missile attack was carried out on the city of Sevastopol by 5 American ATACMS missiles equipped with cluster warheads. Now, I don't know if this is factual or not, but something happened. Now, they claim that 4 of these missiles were intercepted. The detonation of the fragmentation warhead of a 5th U.S.-made missile in midair resulted in numerous casualties among civilians in Sevastopol. Now, that also happened on a beach. People were just out minding their own business at the beach, on the beach. All flight assignments for USATA CMS operational tactical missiles are entered by U.S. specialists based on the U.S.'s own satellite intelligence data. So they're pretty much implicating the U.S. did this. Therefore, responsibility for the deliberate missile strike on civilians in Sevastopol lies primarily with the United States, which supplied these weapons to Ukraine and with the Zelensky regime, from whose territory this strike was carried out. Such actions will not go unanswered. And this is Sergei Lavrov, is the main spokesman on behalf of Russia. So, not a good situation. And, the thing that's frustrating with that is many Americans do not agree to continue to support Ukraine. I'd be in that camp. And I don't think either one of these sides, neither one of these folks are moral bastions of, clarity. Like we should be listening. Both, my estimation, are corrupt. But name a government that's not corrupt currently on the planet. And I'd be in the camp. Millions of Americans are disgusted by our government's choices, that government being the United States. And I feel very confident in saying American people do not want innocent people harmed. I mean, can you imagine if if this was, say, on some beach in Florida or the Gulf Coast or wherever, and we got a bunch of Americans just out there minding their own business, trying to enjoy a day on the beach, and some cluster munition goes off overhead and injures and kills some people just out sunning and enjoying themselves at the beach. How do you think that'd go down? And now, who did it? The Russians are claiming, Zelensky aided by the Americans. And some people think it was, kind of an op by the Russians to make it look like the Americans did it. I don't know what's going on. I know it's being reported, and not a good situation. Is what it is at this point, and we'll see what comes of this. It's been almost a week now since that happened. Now, that said, Putin, he went on a little trip to North Korea, and we'll go back up, do this first. It's from Sputnik. Russian President Vladimir Putin's arrival with a state visit to North Korea in the photos of the Korean Central News Agency. So here's just a small snippet of the propaganda. Oh, and they did it. They had a big parade. They had Vlad and Kim Jong-un, they were up together out of the top of a car through the sunroof. It was very cool, with a big military parade. Here we are driving the happy couple somewhere. Motorcade. Oh boy. Nothing like propaganda from these folks. And the thing that happened, now note here's the bromance. This is like a Russian Rolls Royce that Putin gave to Kim. And he's very happy to share and give this to Kim Jong-un. While they were there, they reached an agreement to defend each other in case of conflict. North Korea is reportedly going to send military arms, equipment, and possibly troops to assist Russia against Ukraine. Okay. And the U.S. had their response. Pentagon threatens North Korean soldiers will be cannon fodder if sent to aid Russia in Ukraine. Well, I think they did. Let's see. Let's get down. Here they are. They're out walking around. I guess this is after they got out of the car. Where was the quote? If one of the two sides is placed under war situations due to an armed invasion from an individual country or several nations, the other side provides military and other assistance without delay by mobilizing all means in its possession. Okay. Unwavering support in the conflict with Russia and Ukraine from Kim Jong-un. He's all for it, supporting Vladimir. Now, for those of you who want to read a little bit more of this, I did provide the link at Fox News. There's plenty of stuff out there regarding this little visit. I chose the Fox News one. With that, we're going to transition to biblical Persia, or what is modern day Iran. Now, this was very quiet. This kind of happened, and there was a tweet or two put out about it, and that was it. In a spectacular operation, Iran has smuggled 2 Airbus A340s out of Lithuania. The aircrafts were mid-air diverted to Iran instead of Sri Lanka and the Philippines as planned. The Lithuanian authorities do not know how Iran pulled this off. Now, what in the world is Iran going to do with 2 big Airbus 3 or 2 Airbus A340s? And then just nothing good is going to come of this. I think it also shows who's really in charge in Iran, because they are without a president. And this was done, I think, what was it? About a week before snap elections were held to determine who's going to be the next president. reportedly, voter turnout is very low because most people don't believe that their vote matters. It's going to be whatever the Ayatollah thinks, and that the Ayatollah's regime has rigged the election for the person they want to win. And at this point, we are down to two candidates. Second round of voting will occur. The runoff will take place on July 5th. The two remaining leading candidates are Jalili, he's a conservative, and Pezeshkian, he's the liberal reformist. Now, my money's on Jalili, the conservative. He's more in line with what the Ayatollah has to say. And in this person, if voter turnout is high in the second round, Pezeshkian could benefit and win the elections. He's not winning. Sounds good on paper. And if he does win, he's not a liberal reformist. And there's my analysis of Iranian politics. I mean, they got the two dudes there. They want it to run off. We'll see what happens. Ayatollah's in charge of that situation. And that vote's coming up in about 5 days. So we'll watch. We'll report on it. He'll be a puppet. Transition to ancient Sheba and Dedan, that'd be modern day Saudi Arabia. A lot of this has to do with Ezekiel 38 and 39. That's where, these ancient names are primarily coming from. There are other places in the Bible where they're called Persians. I think it's what Jeremiah 49, Sheba and Dedan, modern day Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabian Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman denounces heinous crimes against Palestine and calls to establish an independent Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital. So, and I know I get plenty of feedback, Antichrist update here. Many people think he's the Antichrist. So, get private messages, comments. I don't think he is, but I'm listening to it. He's transforming Saudi Arabia. We'll see what happens. And I think they're all going to stand pat. You can forget anything happening with normalized relations between the Saudis and the Israelis between now and the U.S. elections. I'd be stunned if that happened. And if it does, it'll be done apart from Biden. Trump's son-in-law, Kushner, and him are buddies. Kushner and bin Salman are buddies, or well, at least they have a good working relationship. I'll put it that way, which is kind of ironic. Kushner's Jewish. And, well, and then there's the Crown Prince. Typically wouldn't be two people you would seem to have a relationship, but they do. And with that, we'll go to north in Israel. Foreign diplomats are leaving Lebanon in droves. Hezbollah and Israel appear to be on the verge of a major escalation. So you have people, dignitaries, diplomats, embassies being emptied out in Lebanon with the concern that Israel will be moving forward and cleaning out Hezbollah in Lebanon. And as that draws closer, this happened yesterday, the League of Arab States officially removes Hezbollah from list of terrorist organizations. Now they've propped them up as a legitimate political party. The league decided to lift the terrorist tag from Hezbollah as the party plays a crucial role in present politics and the future of Lebanon. And this is effectively repeating what happened down in the Gaza Strip with Hamas. Okay, Hamas is not bad. They were legitimately elected. Let's put them in power. We know how that's worked out. Same thing's going to happen, or appears to be on the verge of happening up north in Lebanon. Hezbollah's not so bad. They're going to play a role in present politics and the future of Lebanon, which has been interesting to watch because Hezbollah has not wanted. They've kind of been happy to play second fiddle to whatever, and so they could point the finger and blame whoever was in charge. Well, we could do it better. We could do it better. Or we would do this, or we don't agree with that. Well, now you're going to get your chance. You're going to be in charge. And the Arab League has removed the terrorist tag from your organization. They're about to get, I think things are getting ready to go down probably within the next month or so. Just a guess. I don't know that, but just watching how these things happen. And they are supported. They are a proxy of Iran. I think Iran will move forward, even though they don't have a president. Again, Ayatollah is the one who's in charge there. President's just a puppet. Luke 21, verse 11, there will be great earthquakes. That's Jesus talking. We're quoting Jesus quite a bit today. Injuries are reported, as well as rock slides and structural damage to a 7.2 quake that occurred off the coast of Peru. Here's the little cluster down here off the southern coast of Peru. Now, this originally was reported as a 7.6, and after the experts have assessed it, of course, they've downgraded it to 7.2. They never upgraded an earthquake. It's never, the initial response was, it's not that big. We always downgrade these things. First time it gets upgraded, that'll be the first time it happens. Day after powerful 7.2 magnitude earthquake hit Peru, raising tsunami fears, which were essentially, I don't think anything happened there. We had some aftershocks, 6.0, 5.0, 4.0, and greater. Check this stuff out. I can't imagine being in the middle of something like that. Most of the injuries, I didn't hear of any deaths reported with this, but a lot of injuries, rock slides, dirt slides, collapses of sides of hills, and so forth. So uh, this is 50 seconds. Mostly just shows. I mean, that's a long time. Can you imagine being in the middle of something like that, shaking that hard for almost a minute? I mean, it would seem like an eternity. Luke 21, verse 25, and there will be signs in sun and moon and stars, and on the earth distress of nations in perplexity because of the roaring of the seas and the waves. Uh, and I think this just got updated since I pulled this up this morning. Saw some reports, maybe now a category 4 hurricane. And I pulled this tweet from last night. Craig Setzer, he is the chief meteorologist, Royal Caribbean Group. He's a hurricane preparedness specialist, and he's also won an Emmy, former TV meteorologist. With the rapid intensification indicators still very high across the board, and Beryl quickly organizing, NHC is explicitly now calling for a major category 3 hurricane to cross into the Caribbean through Barbados and the Windward Islands Sunday night and Monday. The first major hurricane in the Atlantic on average doesn't occur until September 1st. We are the last day of June. We are 2 months ahead of schedule of when these things start to break out. And that's something that's been interesting to watch, is that the Gulf and the Atlantic are unusually warm, which is fuel for these things to form. So we will see. Where was it? Yeah, here, let's pull this up. We'll do this on the fly. Beryl's Fury, category 3 to 4, threatens islands. Expected to become a major category 4 hurricane as it approaches the Windward Islands early Monday. Storm poses life-threatening risks, including destructive winds, flooding, and storm surge, prompting urgent preparations and evacuations in the affected regions. Let's see what the National Hurricane Center. This is as of 2 hours ago. Dangerous 3 hurricane. Sustained winds of 115. Okay. Not good. Not good. Earliest since 1966. Earliest major hurricane since 66. So what are we talking? 58 years. That's pretty cool. Should be an active summer. I saw some, yeah. So if you're on the Yucatan, Cancun, look out. Not good. Of course, that's what, 5 days away, but that's the projections. And then who knows what it does once it gets back into the Gulf. Will it go on into Mexico? Will it swing north? I don't know. We will watch what shall happen. So at that rate, that's going to close out what we got for this week in prophecy. If you enjoyed, please feel free to share with others. Never going to be dull. And what are we now? So July, August, September. We're about 3 months out from the fall feast. Just kind of looking ahead to that. I will be fascinated to see. It will be fascinating to see what happens with the BRICS summit in Russia. I expect a currency. They may name their common currency. Still waiting for that 10-nation federation. Can't believe we haven't seen that yet. Maybe they're part of it. Maybe they're going to decide to have this rotating 10-headed roundtable leadership conference, or I don't know. We'll see. All right. Leave y'all with this. Wishing everybody a great day. Catch you later. Bye.